Welcome, brothers. Recently, we made a video about the epidemic of single women, but nobody talks about the epidemic of women who have never been in a relationship, reaching ages where they should be engaged or married. Many of them can't even get a boyfriend or a date. What could be the problems that women nowadays are facing in not finding a man? But before we continue, brothers, we invite you to subscribe, like the video. We aim to reach 50,000 subscribers, so we ask for a small contribution for the family to keep growing. We've left our super chat if you'd like to donate to the channel. Don't forget to leave us your comments. Without further ado, let's begin.
You're over 20 and you've never had a boyfriend and you feel like guys just aren't interested in you. I feel like it has more to do with ourselves rather than the guys, because sometimes people are interested in you and you just can't tell. And this has a lot to do with self-confidence and being sure of yourself, and also being able to read signals. You have to think of it like this. If people are around you and they're more introverted, yet they still are looking to be in your vicinity, they're looking to be around you, they're starting conversations with you, all of that has to do with the fact that they are interested in you. So if someone tries to start a conversation, if someone wants to be around you, they are interested 100%, especially when it's coming from a guy. And guys, usually they will approach you if they have some kind of interest, and then sometimes it develops into a friendship, but still they want to be around people that they are interested in, just like you. And if you find that they don't approach you, and if you find that you're not getting any signals whatsoever, then I feel like this has a lot more to do with presenting yourself as being approachable. Because sometimes, and I talk about this like pretty girl syndrome and all these kinds of things that I've made videos on, it's like people think that you've got it all anyways. They think, oh, she's too pretty, or she's too this and that, and she looks unapproachable, she looks arrogant. And sometimes, because of the fact that we got so used to being alone and we got so used to the fact that nobody approaches us, that we're kind of on guard. So basically we're trying to protect ourselves from any sort of outside input, because we're just so good at being alone that we give off that vibe of like, don't approach me because I'm gonna push you away. Sometimes people can feel that. It's an energy thing. So what I would suggest, if you are interested in attracting people into your life, just smile. Honestly, that's the only thing that I would change, is just smiling and giving that open and interested energy, and then that's going to be reciprocated.
Brother, thanks to a father figure in my life who once told me there's no woman who won't fall in love with the right strategy, and also that he who doesn't risk doesn't win, I've always kept this in mind. No, you already have, so it doesn't matter. Go for your yes. How bad can it be in the end? This is what I'd tell any young man watching this. Approach the woman you like. Many are lonelier than the sun at noon. Most, like this young lady, don't have men approaching them for various reasons. It could be that men are more focused on their personal lives than relationships, or that some woman has made them have a bad experience, or simply that they don't like the current dating culture. But this affects women because men aren't pursuing them. Here we see the results of what feminists do. These messages of being a strong and independent woman, you don't need any man, they empower many. Others focus on their careers, but others who do want a relationship don't believe in any of that crap. And they're the ones who end up paying the price. Later on, we'll see another video of this girl sad for the same reason.
Because it's iconic, and I love to do iconic shit.
I am requesting that scientists do a case study on those of us that were never asked out, never asked to any dances, never were shown any romantic interest whatsoever, all of middle and high school, and honestly most of college too, because I feel like that definitely fucked me up somewhere developmentally. Having no one show any interest in you and never being asked out throughout school, that shit hurts.
I'm in my 20s and I have never had a boyfriend. And I used to be really embarrassed about it, but now I kind of embrace it. Like, I've never cried over a boy. I've never gotten my heart broken. I'm independent, self-sufficient. There are so many good things about being single. I have so much going for me. I'm young, I'm in college, I'm smart, I'm pretty. And I feel like most guys want something casual in college, and I'm just not a casual girly. So if you're in college and you've never had a boyfriend, or you're also in your 20s and never had a boyfriend, don't feel bad about it. It's completely normal. Stay true to yourself and do not lower your standards.
Here comes your case study. I would recommend you to be the one going for the man you like. You should take the initiative because you'll easily end up single, hitting the wall. Let me tell you, the wall doesn't forgive. These women aren't getting attention in real life. Many just seek attention on social media. Others only seek perfection in men. The problem is there aren't as many handsome or wealthy guys as they want. Wanting a winner without having to put in any effort complicates things more each day. Another problem is all these attacks from women and laws they want to pass to attack masculine men. From open up your feelings to you have to be more vulnerable, which leads many men to become feminized or confuses young adolescents. This happens a lot when you see boys who are confused today trying everything. But it also happens that many are retreating, completely distancing themselves from the opposite sex, and this has been caused by women themselves. Without masculine men, women, you won't have men wanting to ask you out. But they don't like hearing this. The speech about being a strong and independent woman is better.
I am 21 and I've never had a boyfriend. Is that weird? That is not in any way weird. You hear me? When I was 21, I knew absolutely nothing about boys. I'm 23 years old now, and I have many friends who are just as old as me, and they have never had a boyfriend, and they have never even had their first kiss. And this is a very healthy thing. Taking your time is a very healthy thing, because you cannot do anything worse than have certain experiences too early just because other people are having them and you think that you are missing out. You are on your own personal timeline that needs to work for you and only for you and for no one else, because you need to live with your choices, not your friends, not your parents, not the people around you. You need to live with your choices. And if you can sleep at night knowing that you're not pained by a broken heart, then girl, that is a win. I had my first relationship when I was 21, and before that I had never even really been in the same room with a guy alone ever. And honestly, it was an experience and I learned a lot from it, but also part of why I went into that relationship was because I felt like everybody else had already been through it and I was kind of falling behind, and I was scared that I, wouldn't find anybody that really liked me or that I wouldn't ever experience it, so why not do it now? And so I rushed into it and obviously got hurt in the process. And so in many ways, I do wish I would have waited for that right person instead of thinking, oh, but I am too old now and I'm just missing out. You're not missing out. You are creating the best version of yourself and loving yourself, learning to love yourself. And that makes you way more ahead than other people are, because other people try to find validation in their relationship and in other people, and then they hurt those people because they don't even love themselves. Whereas it's way smarter to learn to love yourself first and then commit to somebody else, right?
This woman is at least experimenting with who she truly knows, with the Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table except his seed, as I told you. These men enchant these women. When they see that time is running out and they haven't experienced much, they want to try it all at once. Brothers, social skills, working on your body, and getting your money are attractive to 50% of women. That's why you should never limit yourself from talking to a woman no matter how beautiful she is. Many are more desperate than you, and you have nothing to lose. Another thing, if you have so many friends, it's certain that one of them is in the friend zone because he doesn't have the courage or masculinity to go after what he wants, and it doesn't excite you at all. If this woman continues like this, she'll reach 30 without a boyfriend. She'll have hit the wall. After that, we all know how complicated it gets for women.
When's the last time you had a serious relationship?
Oh, I've never had a boyfriend.
Hi guys, I think it's so hilarious because I've been reading some of the comments on this video and I've been seeing a lot of comments on based on this part of the video. I'm a very private person. I don't really reveal my personal life, but I will say there's not much going on in my personal life. I want to clear things up. One, I am straight. Yes, I am. And two, I'm just the type of person that I am waiting to find somebody that I'm gonna marry. I don't like to date or go on dates and things like that unless it's gonna be with someone that I see myself marrying. And I haven't found anyone that I see myself marrying yet. So to me, it's not worth it to be in a relationship. But when I find that person, you guys will know. But I don't think it's something that's super crazy. I think there are a lot of girls out there that are my age and, you know, that haven't been in relationships yet. And kudos to us for staying strong, man. In this day and age, it's really hard to find somebody that's really good. And yeah, I'm waiting for the right person. And I think that's okay. That's really okay.
Brothers, have you noticed that they all say, it'll be fine, the right one will come along, it's hard to find someone good. All of this sounds like words of encouragement they keep telling each other. But the thing here is that time waits for no one. And your biological clock is telling you to move. Time is running out. So why not give an average guy a chance? It's not that they don't know men. It's that they want men of a very high standard, ending up rejecting most men with common jobs or who aren't in that 20%. This happens more with corporate women, who you know are very beautiful but struggle to find a partner. Believe me, it's not because there aren't interested men. It's because those men don't meet their economic standard. Many say it's not about the money, but I've never seen women fall in love with a man for his nice feelings, especially when they are successful in their careers. If you think it's a lie, I've never seen a young wealthy woman dating a guy who works at McDonald's.
Almost 24. I've never been in a relationship before. I don't partake in hookup culture. If that works for you, right on, sis. Does not work for me. And that's fine. And I want to put that out there because I used to feel like, oh my god, I feel like I'm the only one who has that experience. But at the end of the day, don't force yourself to do anything that you don't feel like you want to do. Just because you think should I be doing all of this? No, you should be doing whatever feels right to you. Not forcing yourself to do anything just because you feel like you should be doing something, because there's no one way to do life, you know? Sometimes I feel sad because I feel like I've missed out on the cute little innocent puppy love of growing up. Who knows what's gonna happen in the future? You don't know. You never know. So maybe that will happen. Who knows? But for now, it's just if I don't meet someone that I really, really like and I just feel like it's right and it's just natural and it flows, I'm not chasing it. Phone is drier than the Sahara. I'm not dating around. I have no dating apps downloaded. I feel like the fact that I've never been in a relationship has kind of helped with my self-love and confidence, giving myself validation and not relying on that from other people. I feel like in that way that's helped. But then in other ways, it's to a point where how do I even interact with a man? I have no idea. The idea of me being in a relationship, I cannot, that's just so weird to me. I cannot envision that. So, who knows? Maybe that'll change. I just feel logistically, the only way that that's gonna happen for me is a friends to lovers situation. I don't see it going down any other way, honestly. I truly do think that the best relationships start out as friendships and have that best friend dynamic. I think that's just the best. So until then, I'm chilling, doing me, hanging out with friends, doing what makes me happy, focusing on my school. I'm in grad school, and that's plenty. So I'm chilling, I'm good. If you have never been in a relationship, if you don't feel like you want to partake in the hookup culture, you don't have to. Do what feels right for you. Nothing is wrong with you, and you're not alone. Love ya.
Women fear rejection more than men do, as I mentioned earlier. Many women are experiencing loneliness among themselves. The lack of initiative from men even affects women among themselves. Let me explain how. Look, this girl, she'll surely have an equally or even more beautiful friend. If this girl gets a partner tomorrow, it's most likely that her single friend will also approach her partner. Another thing is that women, seeing that men don't approach them, are afraid to make the first move. You see how they say, I have no idea how to approach a man. They believe they should start by being a lover or with a friends with benefits arrangement. This girl is lonelier than the sun at noon. Any man with some charisma and masculinity approaches her, works on a couple of dates, and gets her. Brothers, in the comments of these videos, there are thousands of women I see complaining about never having a relationship. Nowadays, the situation is critical. This affects a society where people are aging, not having children. That's why you see so many women taking antidepressants, going to therapy, because they can't figure out how not to crumble like the girl in the intro just because they don't have a partner. A single women epidemic is coming.
I'm a single mom. Of course everyone still thinks I want my baby daddy. I'm a single mom. Of course if you waste my free day, we're never talking again. I'm a single mom. I'm always gonna ask for help, but never take it. I'm a single mom. Of course everyone thinks I'm bitter.
I'm a single mother. Of course I know how to make $1 out of 15 cents.
I'm a single mom. Of course I'm gonna use my kids as an excuse on why I can't go out. I'm a single mom. Of course everyone thinks I have baby daddy drama. I'm a single mom. Of course I say I need a break from my kids, but when I finally get it, I want them back.
Welcome to The Wall. Today, the dating group facing the most difficulty in finding a relationship is single mothers. It's because men don't want to date these women, bearing the burden of another man's sin. But it's not just that. It's the problem many men have in being able to see their children in the current system, which we'll present today. Before we begin, brothers, we strive to bring you the best possible content for your enjoyment. Support us with something small like subscribing to the channel or liking the video. Leave your comment with your experience on the topic. This helps the channel reach the majority of men who may need this content and your experiences. So let's start without further ado.
I got married at 26 and I super thought, like when I was 26 and got married, I 100% felt like I knew myself, I knew what I wanted in life, and I was confident that this person and I, our goals, values, and everything lined up. And for the 26-year-old version of me, that was accurate. The problem is with getting married that young is that you as a person are going to grow and change, and you can't guarantee you're going to grow and change together. The things that I valued and looked for in life at 26 are no longer the things I value and look for now at 40. So the marriage was doomed to fail because we just got married too young.
Your marriage failed because you focused on what was best for you, not for the marriage. Perhaps the version of the man who enamored you is the same version he was at 40. But as always, women get bored. They want more. Why do you always want more? You probably ended up attacking your husband due to your lack of personal growth, your limited progress. You kept complaining until you bored everything. Surely now you were thinking, I'm tired of being a housewife or the one who takes care of the home, like every empowered woman deceived by modern feminism. You wanted to be the man in the house. You wanted things to be done your way because, brothers, women always talk about changing over time, but we don't change, we improve. We understand that we have more responsibility as men. We work even harder for our family and children. But women aren't like that. Remember, a woman is faithful to her emotions. Based on that, she will always be guided by them. If she's bored, happy, or sad, all of that will always fall on her husband, because besides being a provider, providing everything for the comfort of the woman, we also have to maintain her emotions. But as she says, the man has it easy. She always plays the victim with her oppressive ex-husband, when it's us who have to endure her mood swings or, as she says, her growth.
I don't need a man. I want one. Let's dive deeper into this 50-50 topic. Do I want a provider and somebody to take care of me? Do I need one? No. I spend $3,000 per month in rent alone, $1,700 in daycare, and $1,000 in car payment and insurance. And I do that all by myself, not including the fact that I travel and I do fun shit with my kids and etc. I don't need a man. I can provide for myself financially, but I want that. I want a man who's going to take the lead. I want a man who wants to take care of me. I want a man who wants to provide for me. I want a man who wants to take that weight off my shoulder and allows me to be in my full femininity and in my full feminine energy, and whatever I bring is an additional thing to our home. I don't want somebody who needs me to do that and then also needs me to be all of these other things, because the reality is that most men do not have everything that a woman needs. They are lacking. They are emotionally and spiritually broken. Let's talk about emotionally broken. A lot of these men have not gone to therapy, have not yet addressed some of the deep traumas that are inside of the depths of their soul, and that affects your relationship. But I, on the other hand, have already gone to therapy, invested in myself in that way, and I have the tools to make sure that I am self-aware, and I'm aware when I'm self-sabotaging or when I'm the fucking problem. And some men just don't have that. They don't have the tools and they don't have the capacity to do that. So that alone, you're already more broke than I have ever been. Let's talk about spiritually too. I'm not a perfect person, but there are men who do know how to lead a household. A lot of men are too cool for that. And I want and need that guidance. So I don't need a man, because I do that all by myself. But I want one that can add to my life. one that can bring a contribution to my life and elevate my life. I don't need somebody to come into my life and cause me undue stress and make me feel like we're fucking roommates and we're 50-50, and then I'm picking up the weight on every other end of the household and running the errands and planning cute dates because, oh, you're not romantic, you don't know how to do it. Like, nah, playa. I take myself on dates now. I buy myself roses. I go take myself to dinner. Like, I don't need you for that. I got it. So if you're gonna be in my life, then it needs to be something that is adding value to my life. Because other than that, bitch, I ain't got no motherfucking time. Get out of here. But also, I'm gonna hold the women accountable because I do feel that there are women who do not have anything of value to contribute because they give themselves away to just anybody. They give their energy away to just anybody. They haven't invested in themselves. They haven't healed their traumas and etc. You gotta fix that shit. And I agree, you deserve whatever you think you deserve, but fix yourself, please. That's it.
In short, I've already been to therapy after ending things with Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table except his seed. This woman says she doesn't need a man, she wants one. But if you pay attention, she says she doesn't need him to support her. But then she says she wants a provider who can support her, allowing her to embrace her feminine energy. In other words, she wants someone to take care of the bills, to raise Chad's child while I save my money, but also spend it as I please while living off yours. She's out there looking for the provider beta, a man willing to raise another man's child just to get intimacy with this woman. But listen to the price. She says she's been to therapy and fixed herself. When I hear this, it scares me because what was she like before therapy? What were her traumas that were holding her back? Because let's face it, this woman was left by another man with all her children for a reason. She always plays the victim, but the hardest thing for a man is leaving the mother of his children. So, think twice before getting involved with a single mother. If you don't believe me, watch the next video. It's a perfect example of the hell some men go through.
Where my baby at? Why you come out here without my baby?
And why are you recording me? Baby in the house.
Why you come out here without my baby?
Don't you got a girlfriend? Why don't y'all go make a baby?
What that got to do with my baby? Cause I got a girlfriend. What that got to do with my baby?
I don't want her around my kid.
But if you got a boyfriend, it's cool. So you
Why
can bring a boy.
Why are you worried about me? What the fuck?
So you
Why
can bring
are you
a boy.
worried about me? What the fuck?
So you can bring a boy, but I can't bring no girl around.
No.
So I'm paying $1,500 in child support and I can't see my baby.
No.
See?
See what?
See?
Why the fuck is you recording me? See what? See what?
Don't have kids. Y'all don't have kids.
You weird.
Don't have kids.
And
$1,500 in child support.
And you weird.
$1,500 child support. I can't see my baby.
No.
$1,500
in the house. You can see the baby, but not her.
So where's she at?
In the house.
So go get her.
No. You can go see her. I'm not gonna go get nobody. It's cold out.
It's funny how quick women are to always scream that there's deadbeat dads everywhere. Oh, you need to fight for your kids. Yet, this man pays $1,500 in child support, and look at this hot mess situation. I mean, you can't make this crap up. He's trying to see his daughter, his child, and she's too worried about him having a girlfriend. The problem is, these children are used as a weapon. So these mothers, they weaponize the children against the fathers that they had these children with, and they basically use it as bait. Anytime you get them mad, you move on, you find a more attractive partner, which happens a lot. You find a better partner in general. They don't like that. They want you to be single and miserable, a lot of times just like them. It's not cool. Stop weaponizing these children. These children deserve to have their fathers in their life. So not every man is a quote unquote deadbeat dad who don't want to see their kids. And you know what? These fathers don't need to fight for their kids. No man should have to fight for their kids.
This is exactly what happens to most men, who have to be fighting with the mother of their child because this woman wants to make his life impossible. This guy doesn't want to step into that house because he knows it could spell trouble. She wants to be intimate with him or wants to fight with him. Either way, it's a very bad idea. But it's easy to hear single mothers say, he's an absent father, he never wanted his child, but when he goes to see the child, she starts emotional blackmail with the child because the man has a partner who looks better than her or because the man doesn't give her more money that she won't use on the child. $1,500 for just one child, brother, doesn't even let him see him without creating drama. That's why you see children being raised without fathers, men who only send money and don't seek out the child because the mother makes his life a living hell. That's why I'm telling you, take care of your seed. Once it's out of you, it's under the woman's control. A good woman is an asset. A bad one is bankruptcy and pure hell for a lifetime because you can't get out of it. As the other woman said, they want to see you alone and miserable. That's how selfish they are.
All right, I'm just getting back from the gym and I'm driving home and I just thought of reason number 4 that online dating sucks. So I am fine being curvy. Would I rather be a couple sizes smaller? Probably. Who doesn't? But I'm good with being curvy. I've come to terms with it. It is what it is. But in the beginning, it was that constant feeling, should I make sure they read my bio and know that I'm not a size 2? Like, I don't know. The insecurity that comes along with meeting random people online when they haven't actually seen you face to face sucks. That's reason number 4.
Among single mothers and overweight or curvy women, as they say, they always hate dating apps. It's simply because they can't access the best men. They don't want to settle for an average man. They want the best because, like all of them believe, they deserve a high-value man. But we can't have standards or complain when a woman dismisses you for your height, your clothing, your hands, what you have between your legs, your face, your money. You can't complain. It's your fault for being like that. But it's not her fault if a man doesn't choose her. That's men's fault for not seeing her beauty. Now, about not going on the date because you don't like the man. If you like the man, you'd even go to his house just for him to put on Netflix. Many claim it's out of fear, but going on a coffee date, a crowded place with people, what could happen? The truth is, you don't want coffee dates, or you don't like that man enough to go see him. Brothers, single mothers are a bad deal.
Someone asked me to do a video on my take on why women go for married men or men in relationships, so here it is. This thought is it's just an easy distraction. So men, people are suffering with self-esteem, suffering in bad relationships, suffering with things you have no idea about. And sometimes married men just carry an extra excitement. It's just something to distract her, something she can just, pursuing him gives her something to occupy her mind. And it makes her feel good if she's getting attention back. The second reason is because she knows she can. She knows if she goes after this certain man who's in a relationship, who's taken, she can get him. Sometimes it's just knowing you can. Third is, I would just say, if he has a lifestyle that is really appealing, and she can get a taste of that. Some women will just go after married men because of the means they can provide, and they don't want commitment, so they just want the attention. They just want to be lavished with, expensive things and goods. If he has that, if he doesn't, she just wants attention. Fourth one is they have sadness in common. They have insecurities in common, and they just find each other, they find solace in each other. They're all a bit weak, no one's going to do anything about their situation, so they're just going to, console each other. Number 5, she's in competition with the partner, with his girlfriend, with his wife. Women are competitive, and women are a little bit vicious. Men, we are much more backhanded in our aggression. Men are much more they'll just punch you in the face. A woman will just steal your man. So, oh God. So she's in competition. If she's jealous, basically women add value to men. And if his partner, if his wife, if they are of a certain standard, of a certain caliber, her low self-esteem and her ego will crave his attention just because the woman that he's with now, it just means more. If she can get his attention, if she's lesser, less beautiful, less attractive, I don't know, less anything that she thinks the woman is, she's gonna try and bag him just to make herself feel better. 6, I would say he just feels like the safer option. She can get whatever it is that she's after and just drop him, and what's he gonna do? He's got a wife, like. The 7th reason I would say is because married men, especially men who are happily in relationships, for some women are just so much more appealing because every man in the room is giving her attention, yet he's not. And he just becomes like someone like irresistible. Like she needs to like conquer him. Like she needs to get his attention. It's all an ego boost, basically, all of it. So that's why she'll pursue him, because it's like, why is he the exception? Like, no, like she, all of it's just an ego boost.
This can be summed up in one word: pre-selection. Women prefer men who are already chosen by other women. Men who are chosen by beautiful women are deemed more desirable because it suggests that the man brings a lot to the table to have that woman. Women are very competitive. We all know that a woman's worst enemy is another woman. As she says, there are several reasons. Some want a man in their bed who gives them gifts but doesn't have to live with them or take care of them. Another wants a man who listens to her, especially if she's never been married, is in her 30s, or hitting the wall, seeking comfort in the arms of that man. But there's also the woman determined to steal another woman's husband, even if she doesn't like the man herself. She just wants to mess with the other woman. And here I wonder, where is women's solidarity? That's why I say when a man brings a lot to the table, women don't think about their friend. They think, I want this man because he's of high value, and I won't let you have him. That's why it's always important to work on yourself. It's attractive both when you're single and when you're married. A happy man is a man focused on his body and lifestyle, especially if he takes care of his family. This is attractive to women. With so many single women eager to get married, women should be more attentive to their husbands.
The other day I had a guy say to me, "Oh, what did you get all dolled up to find a man tonight?" And I said, "Yeah, I find it much easier to lure them in when I'm good looking. That way I can bring them home and sacrifice them to Satan."
Welcome to the wall, brothers. We must say that modern women always want something. They love to ask for what they want but don't like to contribute or give anything in return. Why shouldn't men have standards? But women should. Today, we will see the different opinions and standards of different modern women. But before we continue, brothers, we invite you to subscribe, like the video. We want to reach 50,000 subscribers, so we ask for a small contribution so the family keeps growing. We leave our super chat if you want to donate to the channel. Don't forget to leave us your comments. Without further introduction, let's begin.
How old are you?
28.
Has dating gotten easier at 28 for you?
Not as much.
Why do you say that?
Social media.
Would you say it's caused you to have higher expectations?
Well, yeah, just because you have to go with what the generation is like getting accustomed to.
So at 28, let's say I wanted to take you out. How much do you expect me to spend on a first date?
Depends where we're going.
What's your expectation though?
I don't really have any.
So I could hit you up and say, hey, let's go to Burger King and get slushy?
No. I mean, at least like, nice 5-star type of restaurant, and then depending on how it goes, depending how I like you, and that all kind of goes with me even saying yes for a first actual date. So that takes a toll.
Okay. So 5-star restaurant in Miami, how much is that gonna range?
Depends how many drinks you'll be ordering.
Average.
Anywhere from 300 to 800 maybe. Jumpstart, yeah.
So realistically, you expect a man to spend $800 on a first date?
Yeah.
Has it happened before?
Yeah.
Why do you think he spent that much?
I mean, if they have it, it shouldn't be an issue.
Brothers, have you heard of spending $800 on a date just so her Instagram looks prettier? Because that's what they're after. Not because they have a genuine interest in getting to know you, but because they're interested in taking a photo in an expensive place with your sponsorship money, where I assure you, everything will be seen except you. I always tell men, invite a woman on the first date for a coffee. If she doesn't accept, she wasn't interested in you. She just wanted a free meal. And you're not here to finance the luxurious life that woman wants to sell on Instagram for free. That's why she's single. Because let's say several men have spent that much to go out with her, yet she's still single. So, what does that tell us? Many were deceived into thinking they had a chance, but she just went for a free meal. Brother, these women belong to the streets. Avoid these kinds of women. Don't go spending a fortune impressing someone who will most likely call Chad to massage her legs after dining with you.
Everyone's out here like, try women. You know what's hard? Dating women, okay? I've met maybe 2 women in my life that I'm like, maybe I would. And you know what? They weren't interested in me. So everyone's like, oh, just try it. It's not easy. I am trying. And just goofy boy after goofy boy just keeps coming up to me. And I'm like, well, I like you. So, I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I'm going to be straight forever, okay? Okay.
I'll make another video soon about this, but there has been a movement among feminists lately encouraging women to switch sides. Let me tell you, many of those who constantly blame men for everything or claim that everything is the fault of the patriarchy and men are unnecessary are women interested in other women. Those marches complaining against men are just means they used to go flirt with naive girls who believe they're fighting for something. They're just vulnerable to the ideas of these women who later invite them to try with the story that you don't need a man. But let me tell you something, having those inclinations since childhood is one thing, doing it as an adult is another. And when they're attacked because they're vulnerable women, it's clear. A woman alone, who has been without a man for a while, a girl who has never been in a relationship, or a single mother coming from a failed marriage, these are women who are easy to convince because they're vulnerable. It's easy to tell them that the fault of their pain or situation lies with men. Why not try dating one of us? We understand you better. But what they don't tell them is that the rate of domestic violence is worse in relationships between women than between a man and a woman. Brothers, be very aware of this. That strange friend of your wife could be more of a competitor for your wife's interest than a supposed friend.
This is for the girl that is on the fence about deciding whether or not she wants to save herself for marriage, and she feels like she can't do it, like there's no way she can make that decision, and she doesn't know how she's gonna feel loved in a relationship if she doesn't have sex with them. This is for her. Take it from me, I have been in those exact shoes. I had sex before marriage with all of my previous boyfriends, hookups, I was doing all of it. And now I'm in a relationship where we are saving ourselves for marriage. And trust me, it's not easy whatsoever. It is a very narrow road and it's very hard to walk in purity. But knowing that on my wedding night, I get to give my husband all of me, my heart, my mind, my body and soul, as a gift to him, and he gets to give that to me, is like the most special thing in the whole world. And I truly never thought that I would get to that point. I genuinely was like, Lord, this is one area of my life that I just cannot surrender to you. Like, there's no way I can do this. And the day that I decided, okay, God, have it all, you have all of me, make me pure, make me holy, was life-changing. There's a few quotes from the book Single, Dating, Engaged, Married by Ben Stewart that I love. The first one is, when you are sleeping with someone before marriage, you are taking away from that person's person if it doesn't work out. And the second one is, I have no right to someone else's body and they have no right to my body before marriage at all. My body belongs to Christ and I am a temple for the Holy Spirit. And I want to be as pure as I possibly can be for Jesus. So if you're on the fence about it, pray into it, invite Jesus into it, say, Lord, change my heart, take this from me, turn this around, do a miracle in my heart, because this is something I cannot do on my own, in my own strength. There's no way I can do it. It is going to be so worth it. I'm not married yet. I'm heading into a season of engagement and marriage, but every single mentor in my life, every single friend that I have that is married says that it is so worth it. It's worth the wait. You got it, girl. Invite Jesus into this, and I promise it'll be all worth it.
Brothers, from a young age, men are taught that they have to create their social and economic value to access the best women in their lives. Women, on the other hand, are only asked to preserve their value, not to give themselves to any passing Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table except his seed. But what do? They give all their affection to the masses. Then they want the man to marry them because she's a woman who has been through a lot, which served as experience to make her a good wife. And there are studies that support that the more relationships a woman has, the less she commits, the less faithful she is, the less tolerant she becomes with men, and women know it. Women only fall deeply in love 3 times. The first 3 boyfriends were the ones they loved the most, usually the Chad to whom they gave everything. Then, at the age of 27 and beyond, none of the men to whom they gave everything stay with them. They have to find a man who wants to give them the ring, usually the beta provider. But imagine that boyfriend watching this video where she says that she opened her legs to all her boyfriends, but with him, she conditioned it until he gave her the ring because on their wedding night, he'll get to try everything about her. Something others did without giving the ring, committing their long-term financial life. But the beta provider never listens to advice. Brothers, a woman's past matters. If she conditions her love for you, it means there were moments when the product went through a phase of free samples, and now she's making you buy it to try it. Can you imagine what her body count is like?
If you're a woman and you want to get married, I don't give a fuck. You got to do this technique. And I will never ever stop preaching this technique until you get fucking married, because it fucking works. I'm a realist and skeptic when it comes to relationships, and I still got what I wanted, bitch. And I didn't even ask for it, bitch. Can you fucking imagine? I just set the intention and did this technique, and within a month, I got a proposal. No cap, I'm telling you. And it's a prayer technique by Neville Goddard. You're gonna fall asleep to the wish fulfilled, and I don't care what it is that you want. But if it's marriage in particular, you gotta fall asleep to feeling a ring on your finger. And you're gonna feel it and feel it and feel it until it hardens into motherfucking fact. I'm a Neville Goddard student, and I've done all the work for years, I'm telling you. This is the only guy you need for manifestations. If you're into law of attraction and manifestations, I'm sure you know the secret, right? That's how it all started. That's how they spread the message. But the shit was that this lady who actually wrote a book and did the documentary, she did the Neville Goddard techniques to actually manifest that movie, and y'all don't know. This is why you gotta listen to Neville. Like, you shouldn't be listening to new people, only to Neville Goddard students. And I'm biased, I might be, but that's the only motherfucking way. Whatever you hear self-concept states, it's coming from Neville. You gotta fall asleep to the wish fulfilled, especially if you want to get married. That's it. Fall asleep to the wish fulfilled.
You know what's ironic? Women say they don't need any man. They don't care what men think. But then you see in silly videos like this, hundreds of comments from women saying, I want to know how to manifest my man. Yes, because this dating coach always has the recipe, the trick, or the book on how to marry the Prince Charming. The problem is, they don't have any. This is where I wonder, are women so desperate that they're buying a course that doesn't even work for the person selling it? Instead of telling women to learn to value their man, to lower their standards, to learn to date normal guys, simply hardworking men, to stay away from chads, or even to take the initiative and ask out the guy they like. Nothing will happen if she says, let's go for coffee. But that doesn't sell. It's better to have an imaginary ring and think, come to me, rich man, come to me, beta provider. Just saying something like that makes me feel foolish.
I'm gonna be vulnerable for a moment, and this is a bit embarrassing because everyone talks about this when you're engaged, like, oh, getting married is so beautiful, so wonderful, having kids so beautiful, so wonderful, and it's like, I don't know, and I've never felt that. I've always felt that it is the most important decision that comes with an incredible amount of weight and discernment and calculation, and like being able to do that as a woman, right? That is the most important thing, because it's your life that is affected the most. It is, you really have to look past those years of your early mid-20s to make the absolute best decision. You have to think about 30s, you have to think about 40s, 50s. You have to think about what blueprint you're giving your daughter as what to look for in a partner, because odds are who you choose to be their father is something that's their standard. That's going to be their example of love, and like, it's so important, and we just kind of breeze past it and just, anybody can't be anybody. It can't. And my family, like, I'm very passionate about family. I'm very passionate about my future children, and I just want to make sure I do everything right. That I just want to give them the best chance. I want to give them the absolute best example of love. I want to show them that you never settle. So many things that it can be done right. Okay? And that's pressure. That's a lot of pressure. Yes, it's fun. It's a beautiful season to be in, but boy, I feel like I'm going to war for people that aren't born yet. And by golly, I'm going to have something to show for it at the end of this. So, whatever. Thanks. Well, thanks for listening.
Here we go with the cat and mouse game, brothers. I always say, when I see a woman on the wall saying she's not interested in family or children, I just hear someone who has to change the narrative because they've resigned to their reality. It's easy to say you don't want kids, but whether you don't want them or can't have them, if you and your partner decided so, I can understand. But if you say it when you haven't even been close to having one, then I don't buy it. It's true that knowing who has your child is important, which is why I tell men to take care of their seed, not to put it in any woman because a good mother will be the best for your future, but a bad mother, or worse, an ex-partner, can make your life hell. That's why a man should always take care of his seed. Once it's out of your body, it's all under the control of the woman. Now, when she says she's passionate about family and children but claims she's not excited, she doesn't even understand herself. What I see here is someone who has hit the wall, doesn't have a man, feels lonely, and is changing the narrative as she ages. Here, I show you the reality that the wall doesn't forgive, brothers. Welcome, brothers. Today's video is very special as we will show how bad some women can be, how they seek revenge on their man, how a woman, even if she has a pretty face, can ruin your life, her interests, and above all, how they have lost respect towards men. But before we continue, brothers, we invite you to subscribe, like the video. We want to reach 50,000 subscribers, so we ask for a small contribution for the family to keep growing. We have our super chat open if you want to donate to the channel. Don't forget to leave us your comments. Without further ado, let's begin.
I left my boyfriend and I've been traveling for 10 days and I've slept with 22 people in that 10 days. My goal was 20 and I just hit 22 this morning. It's 1 p.m. now here in Paris and I need to check out because I'm going home. I really doubt I'm going to get another one on the board, either on the plane or like on my layover. So I think 22 is where we're going to cap it out, but how did I go?
Well, I have a new funniest request.
Oh, an OnlyFans. Tell me, please tell me.
So this has just come through yesterday, so I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And I'm reading through the paragraph of what he's asked and I'm like, okay, cool. Yep. Seems pretty normal. Like want to squirt. It's 5 minutes. And then I see it's a full striptease to the entire song of Good For You by Selena Gomez.
No way. What?
Silly me's like accepted the payment, like, yeah, that's fine, like 5-minute custom solo, whatever.
Without
Before
reading.
I've seen the whole terms and conditions.
The T's and C's.
With everything that we talked about with twin flame soulmates, I think it's all becoming a bit outdated.
Yeah.
I think you choose a person, you make it work, you build a life with them, and
Yeah.
if you are married or not, who cares?
Exactly. And I think, if you get married, cool. If you don't, whatever. You
Yeah.
can have kids with someone and still be in a relationship with them. And as we said, once you live with them for 6 months anyway, it's de facto. You're
Yeah.
basically the same as being married anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need a ring and a piece of paper. If you want to do that, go for your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I want to get married just because I want to have a party.
I'm the same. I don't want a big deal. I just want
Yeah.
a nice ring and a party.
Same.
So I don't even care if I don't get married. I just want to
Just
be
want a ring and a
engaged.
party. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just want to have the fantasy of, oh yeah, maybe one day keep the families happy.
Yeah, exactly
So I
right.
feel like my grandparents and my parents would both be super excited and want that to happen. So
Yeah.
if I just get engaged, I'll be like, oh, maybe next year.
And this is why I always say, be careful who you take dating and marriage advice from. Does she seem like someone that's qualified? I don't think so.
Brother, this disgusts me. Have you ever heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together? I say this because the one being interviewed is the same one who said in another video that she slept with 300 men in 1 year. Her friend seems to want to break the record because in 10 days, she's been with 22 men, getting hit every night and morning. This woman disgusts me. This is what they call giving your love to the people. These are the empowered women that feminists sell us. The message they give to the younger ones: sleep with hundreds of men and live. Just focus on working on the blue app. These are the ones who tomorrow fall into vice or live on antidepressants. That man who left her didn't dodge a bullet. He dodged a self-guided missile because this woman would have made his life a living hell. Listen to her saying she wants to get married. But on that, I agree with her. Many women just want the party. They don't care about being a wife. Besides, who in their right mind would want either of these two women as a wife? Just the thought that this is my woman, the one I'll spend the rest of my life with, makes me want to vomit. What makes me laugh is that she thinks what she did is hurting her ex-boyfriend, but in reality, she's only making it clearer that he made the right decision. Brothers, analyze the woman you're about to commit to. Remember that your woman is a reflection of the friends or women around her, sisters and mother. Never think that the apple falls far from the tree. But I want you to see the next woman. She's a perfect example of how a woman can mentally damage a man.
What is the most toxic thing you've ever done to keep a guy?
It wasn't really to keep him, but the most toxic thing I ever did was I told the guy I had a miscarriage when I really had no. So what happened was, so we're together, and I ended up finding out that my man's cheating on me with a stripper. So I went to go get tested to make sure he didn't give me anything, and I found out that I was pregnant. I think I got pregnant like the first time we ever had. Right. So, and I didn't even know because it was still like, it was super early. So what I did was I told him right away that I was pregnant, and he was just so happy. He was like, oh my God, like we're gonna be a family, we're gonna get married. And then the next day I went and had but I didn't tell him. I wanted to keep the lie going for like 2 months because he was so nice to me and he stopped cheating on me, and I just wanted to teach him a lesson. So for 2 months, he was like, you know, getting me prenatal stuff and taking me out to eat every day and not letting me cook. Wow. And I kept telling him I can't wait like to have this baby. And every night we would go to sleep, he would like rub my belly and say how happy he was. And then one day he went to Florida, and that's when I called him and I said that I don't know what's happening, I'm bleeding. And we cried on the phone together all day that, you know, we had this miscarriage.
Oh my God.
But in reality, I been got rid of it. I just didn't want to tell him because I felt like I had to with him a little bit.
Wow, that's intense.
I've always heard it said that women are the weaker sex, but is this true? Well, I don't believe it. It's just that a woman might not physically assault you because she wouldn't fare well against a man in that regard. For this reason, a woman prefers to destroy you mentally. You might say that's impossible, but think about it like this. A woman knows that if she gets involved with your best friend, she'll break you. A woman knows that if she tells you she's pregnant with your child when it's a lie, she'll destroy you. A woman knows that if she gets pregnant by some bastard from Chad and makes you believe it's yours just for your money, when she finds out, she'll ruin you. She hasn't hit you, but she's left you mentally ruined for years. That's worse than someone physically assaulting you. That's why I've always said here, the most important choice for a man is the woman who will be his wife. Because a good wife will give you a great life with healthy and incredible children. But a bad woman will ruin you mentally, financially. She could even lead you to harm yourself or end up in jail. This woman is unforgivable in the eyes of God. Sure, this man might have deceived her, but she had the option to let him go on with his life. Instead, she chose to kill her children to get back at the father. This woman just confessed to a crime. She should be in prison.
Follow me for a minute. So according to the Department of Labor, for 2022, the average male income was $38,000 per year, which breaks down to about $158 per working day, right? In contrast, I just ordered a pair of Hermes pool slides I'm going to throw around the resort for a weekend at about $360, which means the average male would have had to work 2 full working days just to cover that light-ass bill. I say that to say this. A lot of these made-up scenarios, conversations, discourse, negative comments, and so forth are being led by people inadequate and unqualified to even have these discussions. That's it.
Wow, that's really interesting because guess what? I found the same statistics and I took it a step further to get the statistics for this year, 2023. So, the average weekly income for men for 2022 was $1,164. the average weekly income for women. Get this. Oh, do I hear crickets? $971 a week. Who really has the say now? According to your logic, ma'am. Now let's fast forward to this year, 2023, because as most people have now realized, as the years go by, we have more boss chicks claiming, that they're so independent and all this other stuff, right? Okay, cool. Keep that same energy. So for 2023, the average weekly income for men was $1,208. The average weekly income for women is $1,005. I mean, we keep talking about money all the time. On average, men make more. So let's stop focusing on the small percentage where we want other women to think that women are supposed to make more. And all these women make so much more. And it's going to be, normal to find a guy that's making $500,000 a year. Like, let's land our plane here. Let's get back to reality, right?
In this country, with inflation, supporting a family with $40,000 a year is like climbing Mount Everest without shoes, a hellish ordeal. That's why it's advisable for both spouses to work from home to support their family. But women nowadays don't want to be a team with the man. Of course not. She wants to wait at the finish line for a winner who earns $100,000 a year. She just wants to grace his life with her beautiful presence, without any real value. But of course, not being a virgin and pure for this man, but with a high body count, with traumas from different chats. A man brings nothing to the table except his seed, and when it comes to his child. As for female bosses, many actually earn on average what a man does in a regular job. But they believe they have high status, so they don't want to date a man who isn't at their level or average. However, many of these women, when they ascend to this position, have already hit the wall after turning 30. This leads men at their level to go for younger and more fertile girls. That's why female bosses end up more single, and even worse, they are the least tolerant of men. Because who wants a woman for her money? With or without money, don't expect to see any of it. When many say, "My husband's money is mine, my money is mine," then what's the benefit of dating a female boss? That's why they end up with a cat because, as we all know, the wall doesn't forgive.
I'm a woman. So what did you say?
I said women don't like dudes who got their own, who don't need them. They rather deal with men who are not that intellectually aggressive, who gonna let them say what they want and do what they want. They rather deal with a man like, not saying you like that, but most women out here don't want to deal with a man who gonna say, "Baby, nah, don't wear that. Nah, baby, don't talk like that." They don't really want to deal with that. They rather deal with a dude who let them say and do whatever they want to do. And they think if a man be a man, he's toxic.
So my question was, do you fuck with a real woman?
Let me answer that question.
And the reason why I asked
I'm
is
listening.
because if you fuck with a real woman, she's going to agree with you. Hey, maybe I shouldn't step outside wearing this,
I respect that,
this
baby.
nasty ass shit.
Let me answer that. This is the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the hose, so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all. No, listen. I met a lot of women. It don't mean, I don't care if they from the hood. I don't care if they got two parents. Their interests are the same. It's like right now, right? If you see 10 lions coming down the street, are you gonna try to figure out which lion gonna bite your ass or not? You're gonna be like them 10 lions. So unfortunately, the real woman agree with too much shit that these hoes is on, so we don't know the fucking difference.
Women don't want to understand this. It's that a masculine man sets boundaries. A woman will tell you she doesn't like it when a man controls her, but it's not control. It's setting limits, making it clear as a man, I don't like it when you disrespect me. What I'm about to say now will be understood by masculine men who have lived with a woman or had girlfriends. One thing I've noticed is that a woman pushes until she sees how far she can go. One day she'll make you angry, you let it slide. Say you gave her a hand. The next day she'll push your limits again, you didn't say anything, and she grabs your forearm. She disrespects you again, and before you know it, she's choking you. And why? Simply because you never had the balls to stop this woman in her tracks to tell her, I don't like this. Next time you do it, I'm out. Brothers, in a household, there can't be two men, and women don't like that either. Why do you think they don't like simps or beta providers and go crazy for bad boys or Chad? Because they put them in their place. Because the first disrespect sends them packing. She knows it. Especially now, when there are women with so much masculine energy, hearing all these speeches about do whatever you want, you deserve everything, your man has to give you everything, you have to be a strong and independent woman. And it's clear that as a woman, you can do whatever you want, but not with me. I demand respect.
Woman says this is why men get dumped in relationships.
You're a boy who has ever been dumped by your girlfriend for seemingly no apparent reason, and you're looking for answers. This is what happened. Okay, this is you guys. You guys are in a happy relationship, and now all of a sudden you have one simple, fixable problem. For this example, we're going to use no good morning text.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on.
The worst text to send a girl. The morning text. Good morning, sweetheart. How are you doing? Hope you slept well. You're basically saying you're a simp. That text is not masculine.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, anyways.
Your girlfriend who loves you, she's really happy with you. She comes to you and she tells you, she's like, hey, do you think we could start doing good morning texts? Like, it'd mean a lot to me if you text me good morning. So you, her loving boyfriend, agree to give her good morning texts. But something happened, and for whatever reason, you stopped giving her good morning text. So now we have a bigger problem. She now thinks that you don't care enough about her to send her good morning texts, even though she asked. But she's going to be like, you know what, this is still kind of a small problem. I'm just going to remind him. She reminds you, you're like, oh my gosh, that's right. I did agree to that. Okay, I will text you good morning. Unfortunately, though, you didn't follow through again. Now we have confirmed that you do not care enough to text her good morning, even though this is a simple, fixable problem. This is now a big problem. So now your girlfriend, who has never picked fights before in her life, starts picking a bunch of little fights about all these different things because she believes that you do not care enough. Through all of these picking fights with you, though, she still loves you and likes you enough to want to be with you, even though you guys have all these little problems now. Until one day, these become unattractive to her. She's going to realize that all of these little things that you do that remind her that you don't care about her enough are unattractive. And so now the problem is not these things. It's not even that you don't care enough. It's not even that she never got good morning texts. It's that she literally does not like you anymore. Does not like you. Now, unfortunately, she has to break up with you. And then you're going to ask her why. And she's going to list out all of the reasons why she has to break up with you. And you are going to say, no, you should not break up with me because of those reasons, because from now on, I am going to do all of these things. And you will never have to worry about me never doing these things again because I'm going to do them every single day. But remember, it doesn't even matter if you were to do all of these things anymore, because the problem now is that she's unattracted to you and just simply does not like you anymore. And now she's going to go move on with her life, and you're going to go and tell your friends that you got dumped by absolutely no reason, and that you guys all hate her, and that she's crazy for dumping you over something so simple. When in reality, she never dumped you at all. This was a slow-moving process that eventually led to the final reason, and you weren't dumped. You probably actively chose not to give her what she said she needed, and now you guys aren't together anymore. Sorry.
What nonsense this woman is spouting. Everything she's advising you to do is what exhausts women the most. First off, a man who's constantly texting a woman 24/7 is a loser with nothing better to do. All he's telling the woman is that she has no options. Remember, brothers, whoever shows too much hunger never gets to eat. She might want you to bombard her with love messages in the first few days, but that only leads to failure. Women like it when you keep them on an emotional roller coaster, with feelings of anguish and desperation being your best allies. Of course, a woman likes attention from a man she's interested in. But just like with your favorite cake, if you eat it every day, you'll eventually get sick of it. You have to give her space to miss you, to wonder why you haven't called, to question if you're still interested. This is what Chad understands that the simp doesn't. He knows how to gauge the girl, when to be present, when to pull away. He makes the girl invest because, believe it or not, emotions like anger, anguish, and desperation are sometimes stronger than love. That's why you see women saying, I couldn't stand him at first, but then I liked him. Of course, the guy got into her head with his anger. He charmed her with sweet words, but then he backed off, leaving her wanting more of him. That's knowing how to calibrate a woman's emotions, making her interests lie with you. If you notice your girlfriend acting strange, it's because you're suffocating her with too much attention. Step back and let her come to you. In short, make the girl invest in you. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think of the modern woman today and her way of thinking? What do you think of the woman who aborted her child to harm the father? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.